I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand next to you and defend her till today.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Sorry, you kind of caught me off guard. You see, I haven't been doing too well lately. Have you guys heard of this thing called 9/11? What a terrible day to be alive. I mean, who would do something like that? I'll tell you who. Osama Bin Laden. I can't stand that son of a bitch. All right, this might be a little bit of a hot take, so prepare yourself. I hate Osama Bin Laden. He's the biggest piece of garbage that I've ever heard of. You know, someone's got to take care of that guy. Huh. Well, looks like I'm a little late to the party on that one. If only there was some sort of video game where I could capture Osama Bin Laden. I'm sure no one ever made that though, right?
Fugitive Hunter, The War on Terror, developed by Black Ops Entertainment and released in North America on November 18th, 2003.
God damn, only 2 years after the towers fell and they put this thing out in the universe. Great timing, guys.
So here's the thing, this game actually started development way before the events of September 11th. As a matter of fact, lead writer John Body stated that an early build of the game contained a level based in New York City, with the Twin Towers in the background. They actually went out to shoot film at the towers in February of 2001. After the attacks, the development team considered putting the game on the shelf entirely, but they decided to go through with releasing it. The belief of the team was that they shouldn't back down from the sensitive material, and instead they should dive headfirst into it and make it the selling point. This was a game where you got to beat the crap out of real-life villains, the worst of the worst. I mean, who wouldn't want to burn, shoot, and kill members of Al-Qaeda? Now in this game, you play as Lieutenant Jake Seaver, an agent for the Criminal Interdiction and Fugitive Recovery Task Force, or CIFER for short. You were tasked with hunting down the FBI's most wanted, going from Jamal Richardson, who's wanted for bank robbery, all the way up to the one and only Osama Bin Laden.
I just feel like it's crazy that no one talks about this game. I can't stress this enough. This is a video game on the PS2 where you hunt Osama Bin Laden. I don't care how horrible this game is. I have to play it. This is my duty as an American. I have to do this to answer a couple of questions. Why isn't this game talked about more than it is? How did this game just get lost to time? And why did Bin Laden have Chicken Little on his hard drive? And we're gonna get the answers to every single one of those questions right now.
We have caught Osama Bin Laden.
The game starts with Lieutenant Jake Seaver being the only survivor of his platoon after a helicopter crashes in Afghanistan.
Mondays, am I right?
Ah! Ghosts! I ran down this cave, hoping to find a secret, and all I got was this t-shirt. If you stand still for too long, Jake gets a little restless and starts cracking his knuckles. Buddy, you gotta stop doing that. You're gonna get arthritis. Well, no way to avoid my problems anymore. Every enemy I run into is named Al-Qaeda. I guess they don't have very many names in Afghanistan. He's Al-Qaeda, she's Al-Qaeda. What if...
Damn it.
This game showers you with weapons in the first 30 seconds. Like seriously, I can't decide what I want to kill these guys with. Maybe I'll use the flamethrower. I might use the tac shotgun. Or what about the bare hands? Every time I get into a fight, Lieutenant Seaver tells me to remember my training.
Stay calm. Remember the training.
Sir, my only job was amateur drug dealer. What training?
He also has some really cool catchphrases that all revolve around taking a nap.
Take a nap. Take a nap, pal.
Lieutenant Seaver, more like Lieutenant Sleepyhead. A pretty neat feature of this game is that if you double tap the right stick, you'll do an automatic 180.
But they didn't teach you that in college, liberal.
Well, everything's going pretty good so far. It'd really suck if Osama Bin Laden was right around this corner. Son of a bitch. Now this is where this game really sets itself apart from the terrorist killing competition. When you get to your target, the game switches to a hand-to-hand combat mode.
And I hate it.
I consider myself a pretty casual fighting game fan. I've played them all. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Shaq Fu, and this might just be the worst I've ever handled. Seriously, I've seen wheelchairs on ice that control better than this. The main reason this feels so jank is because of something that most fighting games use called frame advantage. So to put it simply, when you land an attack in most fighting games, your opponent enters a period of time where they cannot block or attack. It's a very small window, usually just a few frames. During this hit stun, you can hit your opponent without them being able to hit you back or block. This is how every fighting game is built, for the most part.
Well, the fighting in this game either has very little hit stun or none at all. And I'm willing to go with the latter. What this means is that it is almost impossible for you to string together combinations, which is how you win in a fighting game. No matter how you want to play, it's just not feasible. Want to hang back and play tactically, maybe find some openings? Nope. Want to mash random buttons, hoping to connect with a few good punches? Nope. Want to turn this game off and go enjoy the beautiful day? No, this sucks too.
But I overcame the terrible odds put in front of me and choked out this evil doer.
Take that off the to-do list.
I had 65 kills in that level, and didn't earn any money. So this is how it feels to be a United States veteran. So it looks like that dastardly Bin Laden just barely escaped. So where to next? Well, obviously Miami. That's right. We're heading to the streets of Miami to find Jamal Richardson, a member of the Biscayne posse who was wanted for holding 2 hostages at gunpoint while his partner Casey Weber executed them. You may be asking, what do these 2 gentlemen have to do with Osama Bin Laden?
I don't know!
This level starts off with a pretty fat beat, almost fat enough to drop a freestyle over. Okay. Uh-huh. What? In this level, we start off wielding a flashette dart gun, which doesn't sound like a weapon at all. Sounds more like a delicious French pastry.
Hi, can I try the flashette dart gun?
I don't know what it is, but something tells me that's the guy we're looking for. Alright, you rat bastard, it's time to do what I do best, kicking fugitive butt. Well, you're not getting off that easy. Seems like a good time to switch to the secondary. Well, hey, if my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ didn't need a firearm, then neither do I. Now that he's safely subdued, it's time to enact my real responsibility as an officer of the law. Stop resisting! Now it's time to find Casey Weber, another member of the Biscayne posse, who was responsible for the execution of 2 hostages. I got stuck in this room full of boxes for longer than I care to admit. Sorry, I got a little distracted. I still haven't gotten over the last season of Game of Thrones. I make my way into a warehouse where I'm tasked with destroying a weapons shipment, but
I'll be right back.
What was I doing? Oh yeah, Casey Weber. Okay, I keep getting my ass kicked by Weber, but thank God, I still have 9 George Clooney's. And just like the mighty United States, I rise like a phoenix from the ashes and rally for a victory.
Yeah, tough guy.
Whoa, Seaver, police brutality after Labor Day, kind of cringe if you ask me. Now it's time to find Charles Marcus, a contract killer for the Patriots, a militia group that is known to supply weapons to local gangs. Last seen in Thunder Rock, Utah.
More like blundercock. I'm gonna kill myself tonight.
What an interesting looking monument. Thunder Rock, founded by Little Bill. Wait a minute. Little Bill? I saved a hostage and now he's waving at me. I think we're friends now, which feels good. You can never have too many friends, but also kind of stressful. What am I gonna get him for his birthday? When is his birthday? What if he's a Patriots fan? What if he's a racist? I changed my mind. I don't want to be your friend anymore. Ah, you see that nice little tumbleweed? Well, that's what it looks like to the untrained eye. That's actually notorious terrorist Tumbleweed Trevor. Get on the fucking ground! Ah, man, we really got to do something about this fentanyl problem. I finally find Charles hiding at a bar. I always knew he had a problem. I beat Charles's alcoholic ass and even let him have one last drink before taking him in. Just kidding. Go Gadget, police brutality! After capturing Charles, we slide down a rope into a secret military compound to start hunting Lucas Acker. I've resorted to just using the double-barrel shotgun because it's a one-shot kill at almost any range. The reload speed is pretty quick, and it keeps me from having to deal with...
See ya.
that! I keep getting told that I can't move on because I'm missing something. Looks like it's time for my favorite part of the game. Backtracking and shooting at random objects until something happens. Well, would you look at that? Time to move on to the lower compound, and whoa, hey buddy, if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with yourself. Oh shit! Apparently the enemies have no concept of how doors work, cause I keep getting shot through them. Alright, 2 can play at that game. I find Lucas Acker and capture him first try. I'm getting better at this whole hand-to-hand combat thing. The evidence found in the Patriots compound leads us to Armando Rojas, chief of security for Eduardo Perez's worldwide smuggling network. I track him to a private island in the Caribbean, and once again, another banger on deck. Seriously, catch me bumping this in the gym. If I went to the gym. This level is on a beach, and so far, it's my favorite. Something about PS2 water graphics just make me so happy, even in such a bad game. It's like finding a nice piece of bubblegum you didn't finish chewing inside of the trash can.
Who threw this away? What do you think, gum grows on trees around here? God! Wasteful.
I sneak around the outside of the beach and find this random girl named Catalina, who said Rojas killed her brother. She gives me a key to his hideout, and yeah, let's just say we're dating now. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Oh my! I picked up some homing grenades, and I didn't even know that explosives were capable of sexual attraction. Oh, I'm such a big fan, sir. I loved you in Hellboy. Can't go there yet. Can't go there yet. Can't go there yet. Tell me what to do! After several minutes of looking at every piece of foliage in this godforsaken forest, I find a secret path. Like a real secret. Such a secret that literally when standing right in front of it, you can't fucking see it! Seriously, tell me where the secret hole is. I'll wait. Couldn't find it? Me either! They hid that shit like God hid the clitoris. What the hell, man? I go through the secret exit and find Rojas. Hey, Rusty Venture called and he wants his look back. We captured this geezer pretty easily and move on. Back through the hole, through the clearing, and now on to find Eduardo Perez. I go through the jungle, taking out bad guys and disabling Perez's getaway plane. Then I move on to the hacienda, which for my non-Spanish speakers means...
a large estate or plantation with a dwelling house.
Apparently I just guessed the password to deactivate the security system. What is it? I love crime? I save a captured DEA agent and meet up with Catalina as she tells me that Perez is preparing to flee on his boat. Why are you acting so weird, babe? You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. I take an elevator down to a secret cove. I mow down Perez's security forces and fight him in hand-to-hand combat. Perez doesn't even put down his cigar to fight me, which is honestly pretty badass. Seriously, terrorism has never looked so cool. But that little bit of tobacco isn't enough to stop me. I kick this nicotine Nancy from coast to coast. Oh, Perez, didn't you ever hear?
Winners don't do drugs.
Perez leads us to Ali Benassi, a high-ranking member of Al-Qaeda, suspected in operating a terrorist cell in Paris. Fluent in French, German, English, and Arabic. Also, he's 5'9". And to be honest, if I was that short, I'd probably be blowing up buildings too. I chased Benassi through the streets of Paris, and apparently I wasn't fast enough, because Benassi escaped, and Paris is doomed!
Oh no.
Calpolicia? Man, you guys got some funny named towns in Europe. I chase Benassi through an art museum and pick up some nuclear disarm codes. Man, they're just leaving these things around everywhere. I finally corner Benassi and beat him first try. That's right, because I'll be damned if I'm getting beat up by a little person. Benassi tells me that Amon Disease is in the Paris catacombs, and he's working on biochemical weapons with Hanstenek Drobek. Man, this is the craziest spring break ever. I really enjoy the Paris catacombs as a level. It's such a cool place for a video game. The atmosphere is awesome. It reminds me of As Above, So Below. Like, why isn't there a survival horror game that takes place in the catacombs? Get to it, Microsoft. I capture Amon Disease pretty easily, and now I have to go through and incinerate all the biochemical weapons with a flamethrower, like Drake putting hot sauce in a condom. The catacombs are filled with these really shit platforming sections that were probably included just to give a reason to use the L1 button.
That's right, you jump with L1. Add that to the list of the horrible things that Osama Bin Laden's made me live through.
What a bunch of stupid rats. I bet they can't even fuse into walls.
That's the coolest fucking rat I've ever seen.
After I finish incinerating the biochemical weapons, I go deeper into the catacombs to find Hanstenek Drobek. Man, these terrorist organizations have tons of guys who just stand around and do nothing. Pick up a broom, guys. If you have time to lean, you have time to clean.
Happy feet. One more combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
Find the stairway exit. Well, it could be anywhere. I am now on my way to a terrorist training camp in Jalalabad, Afghanistan.
Man, maybe we aren't so different. Even terrorists go to camp and have a sexual encounter with their bunkmate. No, I'm not gay!
Our job is to find special weapons expert for Al-Qaeda, Dr. Al-Noor. I'm also tasked with rescuing an imprisoned journalist.
Hopefully he doesn't work for Fox News, am I right? Hi, I'm Johnny, and I'm here to talk to you today about the dangers of modern day conservatism. You see, when you look...
Damage in this game is so f***ing stupid. There's like zero feedback. None at all. You think you're doing great, taking out some bad guys, then suddenly... you're dead. No rumble, barely any on-screen effects. By the time you realize you've been taking damage, it's far too late and you're dead. It's just so frustrating. I've had an easier time trying to get a cat to swallow a pill.
Take the f***ing pill! Take the... Do you want to be a rock star or not?
Also, enemies respawn constantly, and it's so ridiculous. Multiple times I've made it through a hard part, decided to stop and reload my weapons, then all of a sudden I'm being shot from behind. Another thing, why am I all alone? I'm taking on the forces of Al-Qaeda all by myself? Where's my backup? Where are my friends? Why don't I have any friends? Am I the stinky guy? If I'm the stinky guy, then just tell me that, damn it, I'll put on some deodorant. Now, this Dr. Al-Noor fight was full of genuine rage moments. It took me 5 f***ing times to finally subdue this son of a bitch. And for once, I agree with police brutality. F*** this guy.
Now the moment you have all been waiting for. We are finally heading to the mountains to find Osama Bin Laden.
I had this guy in my scope, and right as I was about to take a shot, he just kinda... But because I took the shot, I get shot 1,000 times and die before I can possibly react. Fun times, am I right, guys?
Man, taking down Bin Laden's gonna be a bit harder than I thought. No wonder it took the government a decade to kill that little f***er.
Oh wow, I love what you've done with the place. Who was your interior designer? Helen f***ing Keller? I genuinely don't know how the hell people use a controller to play first-person shooters. Especially this. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about game design real quick. I want you to think about how most games guide the player in the proper direction without explicitly saying, hey dipshit, go that way. They do it with subtle hints. Things you don't really notice while you're playing. For example, you typically go in the direction of the fighting. Say you go into a room and it's completely empty, right? You can comfortably say, oh yeah, I've been here. Oh, there's gunfire down the hall. I should go that way. Well, that doesn't f***ing work when enemies respawn literally everywhere. And another thing, great games use the environment to guide the player to where they should be. Take, for example, the dungeons in Ocarina of Time. Every room is unique and different, so you're never standing around going, have I been here before? Well, that doesn't work when you're in a giant cave where everything looks the goddamn same, except for the room with 3 identical pictures of Bin Laden hanging on the wall. I know I've been there. After running around like a chicken with his cloaca stuffed with jelly bellies, I finally found out what I'm actually supposed to do. I have to contact air support at the very start of the level, before I do anything. It's hidden behind these rocks, and I just need to know, how the hell am I supposed to know that's there? And I can already see what you're about to say. Hey Johnny, you see that little white dot on your radar? You should follow that. Well, thank you, kind stranger. I'm sorry that I'm not checking my radar when the entirety of Al-Qaeda is shooting at me, and if I get hit more than 3 times, I'm fucking dead.
Mr. President? Yeah, they've learned magic.
After some running and gunning through the caves, I rescue a female prisoner and, sorry baby girl, you can twirl your hair all you want, but my heart belongs to Catalina. I fight a henchman, blow up a turret. Fight another henchman, blow up 3 turrets. And I think this is where Bin Laden films his epic food reviews.
It's time.
With the power of God and the United States on my side, I hit this man with the liberty left, the Republican right, and one final knee into the helicopter, and just like that,
I did it. I defeated Al-Qaeda. I stopped Bin Laden. I saved the world, but most importantly, I saved America. I'm a hero. God, I'm gonna get a medal. I'm gonna get a national holiday. I'm gonna get to meet the president. What do I get as a reward?
After the capture of Osama bin Laden, Jake Seaver reached closure on his 1999 covert mission and brought the world's most wanted fugitive to justice. And peace was finally brought to the international community, at least for now.
Man, fuck America. So I guess that's it. You know, I think I know now why no one talks about this game anymore. It's not because of the controversies or the dated soundtrack or even the sensitive material. It's because this game fucking sucks. Oh my god. Let's talk about some negatives here.
first off, the fighting is truly terrible. It feels like I'm a helpless little mouse trying to fight an eldritch god. I can't do any damage, but they hit me one time and I'll go from complete health to death in a matter of seconds.
It's like the developers have never worked on a fighting game before. Except they have. A pretty decent one at that. Knockout Kings 2001, while not being amazing, is a whole hell of a lot better than this. Why not just use this engine and put Osama Bin Laden's stupid big face on there? That would be so much better.
The controls are mind-numbingly confusing. Jump with L1, shoot with R1, melee with R2. This control scheme was so bad that for the majority of the game, I completely forgot that I could peek around corners with the D-pad, which probably would have been pretty helpful at certain times.
What's wrong with L2 for aim and R2 for shoot? We've literally been using that setup since the Paleolithic period.
This might be cheating a little bit, but the entire engine is just god-awful. Multiple times I would watch enemies respawn in the exact same place that I just killed them in. You can never have a moment of peace to just admire the scenery. It's just damage, 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 death.
But it'd be unfair to not mention some of the positives of this game too, which there aren't very many.
The music is pretty neat, which is a good time to mention that the music was mostly done by UK garage group So Solid Crew.
But here's the problem. I don't really know anything about So Solid Crew, so I'm not entirely sure which songs that they did. I'll tell you one thing, the main theme though, banger.
Fusing ties and capture rising. Where's Abdullah? He's been hiding, hijacking straight surprises.
I also like a few of the weapons. Not all of them, but some of them. Like the double barrel shotgun is so fun to just peek around a corner and blow somebody away. The grenade launcher's pretty sick too. It feels nice to be able to control when the grenades actually explode.
Other than that, this game is just bad. I genuinely can't find a reason why anyone would want to play this. The controls are terrible, the fighting is up there with some of the worst I've ever seen, and honestly, it's just really hard to look at. I've seen prolapsed anuses on homeless people that look better than this. My recommendation? Don't bother playing this game. Unless you're an avid PS2 fan and you want to see everything that the console has to offer, this thing's pretty skippable. Unless you want to play a game where you hunt Osama Bin Laden, which luckily, I do. And because of that, I'm giving this game a 10 out of 10. Game of the year. I'd let this game f*** my girlfriend.